Hello, and welcome to week 3 of the SCDA Premier Ball White Division. It's been a long week for me, and I have not been thinking about Pokemon very much this week. So this team is very last second. My opponent's already ready, so we're going to run through our two teams really quickly. We're going to look at my team super fast, and then we're going to get straight into the battle. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully you like the board behind Eleanor. I got some of my favorite rap albums of all time in Pokemon form. I should have a short up on my channel by the time this video goes live, so definitely check that out. And if you like these, check out that guy's shop. It's amazing, and he always runs sales, so don't buy it for full price. But anyway, my opponent this week, kind of similar to my week 1 of the PGL, where he has Trick Room and he has Sun, and the whole team is centered around Fluttermane and Torkoal. The difference being this opponent has Ursaluna, so a really big physical heavy hitter. Also has the Crawdaunt, really strong outside of Sun. It doesn't do very well in Sun, but I do think it's good into my team. It's very strong. Obviously, Fluttermane's crazy. It completely shreds Spectrair. Spectrair's matchup's abysmal this week, so I'm not even bringing it. And I'm actually dropping it starting next week. I'm putting Sinistcha on the team using my last trade. I think it fits our overall squad a little better. So hopefully that's a positive trade, because that's all we got. But we've got the Ursaluna my opponent has, obviously very strong physical attacker. Usually runs Flame Orb Guts with Facade, Headlong Rush, and some kind of coverage. He's got the Oranguru as his main way to set up Trick Room. We can't fake it out with Persian. So we have to use other methods of stopping Trick Room, else it gets up kind of for free. He's got the Torkoal, and Torkoal here can run a few different modes. Obviously, Charcoal Fire moves is really good on a team with just, Lilligant Hisui to use after you and let it go just as fast as a Pokemon that's 105 base speed and doubled in the sun. So that's really threatening. Lilligant also on its own is pretty threatening. If it doesn't go for after you, it can run just close combat Leaf Blade and threaten a lot of physical damage on a lot of my Pokemon, especially Tyranitar. I think it'll definitely run a fighting type move just because it covers Tyranitar so well. Got the Sliggoo Hisui. I didn't really prep for it. I have some naturally good matchups into it this week, so I'm hoping they'll kind of carry me against it. It's got Vivian. I did drop it at the very beginning of the season. I'm kind of regretting it now because the support it provides has looked pretty good this season. It has the Rage Powder. It's got 98% accurate Sleep Powders and 91% accurate Hurricanes, or it can run Friend Guard and reduce the damage its teammate takes. So just a very solid Pokemon into my team. 2 Sleep Powder spammers is hard to deal with, so it's constantly threatening anything on my team that's not a grass type, doesn't have safety goggles, to being put to sleep, which is tough to deal with. He's got Arbok as his Intimidator. He has brought it once already, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's that great versus me. I have a ton of ground coverage and a ton of special attackers, so I don't know that it looks that good into me. And he's got the Electrode, super fast. I did prep certain speed tiers to be able to outspeed it under Tailwind. I don't know if it shows up. I think he's brought it once as well. But anyway, looking at what I brought. First of all, this first Pokemon, I don't expect to see on the battlefield at all. Tyranitar does not have a very good matchup into our opponent, outside of the fact that it can get rid of the sand and kinda stands up against Torkoal. So if my team just gets absolutely steamrolled by Torkoal game 1, I might bring this. Otherwise, I don't think it's showing up. Rock Slide plus Knockoff is really good, stab coverage into his team. We've got the Low Kick because it's really strong into Ursaluna. Also hits Crawdaunt for a pretty good chunk. And then Protect just to help us stall at Trick Room as needed. The Citrus Berry with the EVs we have means we normally live 2 hits, but obviously physical super effective hits from Crawdaunt or Lilligant we're going to struggle to live even one of, which is why we're Terra Flying to try to counter Lilligant. If Lilycole is his main mode, then Tyranitar looks okay if we Terra it turn 1, but that's asking a lot because everything on our team wants to Terra. We've got the Moltres. This Moltres is our kind of guaranteed lead for game 1. We've got Roar to prevent any shenanigans with Trick Room. Heat Wave and Overheat. Fire is just really strong into his team. Only Torkoal and Crawdaunt resist it, if I'm not mistaken. And in the sun, Torkoal doesn't appreciate special hits, and Crawdaunt also is pretty frail. So they're just nice. Tailwind, if he's not Trick Room lead, means that we can outrun a lot of his team with our faster Pokemon immediately. So that's nice. We've got the safety goggles. Just, you know, if he has either the sleep powder spammers at the beginning, we have another tech later on. But safety goggles is just really nice for us to lead with this to guarantee that we don't get put to sleep. We are running Misty Terrain on the Klefki, so that wouldn't protect Moltres since it's off the ground. And then we've got the Fire Terra just to boost the damage of our Fire type moves. They actually do really meaningful damage into some of his Pokemon. So if we want to Terra this and just start sending off huge hits, we can do that. We got the Persian. Once again, I'm running offensive Persian this week. Instead of Fur Coat, I'm just running the Technician max special attack, speed to outrun Lilligant. And then we've got Taunt, also to prevent Trick Room, but also to prevent things like the Sleep Powder from Lilligant if we can get rid of the Sun. We've got Parting Shot to help us pivot into Kommo-o, who once again is our main setup sweeper. We've got Snarl, just to reduce special attack on all of his special attacking Pokemon, but primarily the Fluttermane or the Torkoal. And then I guess the Vivian, if he brings it. Really, the Torkoal, it's just really nice because getting that chip damage and the -1 special attack really nerfs the eruption damage. Oh, and then we've got Chilling Water. Chilling Water is kind of a sick tech this week because with Technician, it is boosted to 75 base power. And if we set up Rain Dance with Klefki, which we also have, Chilling Water pretty much always 2-hit KOs Ursaluna. And it should 2-hit KO Torkoal. I think it's a roll. But I tried to make it as much in our favor as I could. So that's nice. And then Focus Sash, just so we can live, you know, a Moonblast from Fluttermane and not get KO'd in one hit. And that way we can still be annoying because we should outspeed everything else on his team. We got the Kommo-o. Once again, big carry set this week. We're going to try something different than Clanger's Soul, though. I think it's just not working for me. So I went with a really bulky set with a little bit of physical attack investment. To try to help us get off the ground a little faster. We've got Fire Punch, Drain Punch. Once again, Fire is great coverage, and then Drain Punch hits the Crawdaunt. So the only thing we're not really hitting that hard is Torkoal. And with Fire Terra and one Bulk Up, Drain Punch should 1v1 it. So that looks really solid. We've got, once again, Fire Terra. I wanted a Terra that could resist Fluttermane. Steel was the obvious one at first, Steel with Iron Head. But that's really weak into Torkoal and Lilligant's fighting moves. So we're going Fire instead, and we're going to hope that works. Protect is also just to help us stall out Trick Room as needed and get leftovers recovery. We got the Klefki. I changed the set last second. Quick recommended a Lagging Tail Switcheroo set. I like it, but I think if it gets protected on, then I just wasted a turn and kind of showed off my strategy too early. So instead, I threw on Air Balloon just so I'm not threatened by an Oko by Ursaluna as soon as Klefki's on the field. And I'm forcing him to hit Klefki, which means he's either not hitting my other Pokemon or he's using a spread move. And then we've got Rain Dance. As I said before, it really flips Torkoal's damage output and slows down the Lilligant, so it's really effective, as well as boosting our own Chilling Water power. We do have to be careful, though, because it does also boost the Crawdaunt. So if he brings it, I don't really want to set up Rain unless I can confirm that Crawdaunt's not in the game. Got Misty Terrain, as I said before. It prevents the sleep powders from putting any of our grounded Pokemon to sleep, which is all of them outside of Klefki when it's on a balloon. Which, you know, that's not preferred, but I do like the balloon really well into the Ursaluna enough so that if Klefki gets slept, then I guess we'll have to deal with it. We got the Flash Cannon to have something to hit Fluttermane. I wish it got Iron Head or any kind of physical steel coverage, but it doesn't. So that's kind of an L for Klefki, the steel type. And then we got Reflect. That's another move I can click in front of Ursaluna Crawdaunt. You know, a lot of his physical mons to help slow them down and help Kommo get set up. Finally, we are bringing the Lurantis off the bench this week. We've got the Leaf Storm. If we get one Leaf Storm off, we always Oko Ursaluna with a +2 Leaf Storm. Superpower and Leaf Blade are really solid into his team. Once again, fighting just looks really solid, and being able to give ourselves essentially a bulk up boost every time we click Superpower makes Lurantis really threatening. Not only that, this Lurantis has a ton of bulk, so special defense plus AV means he's not doing much damage to us on the special side, and then 1 or 2 superpowers means he's not doing much to us on the physical side either. So it's just really strong coverage both ways. We are hard walled by Vivian, so that's not great, but hopefully we can deal with it. with our other Pokemon. We do have coverage on most of our other Pokemon to deal with it. Pollen Puff is just kind of there to help us keep Como up. And I don't know, it's decent into like Oranguru if we really need that little bit of extra damage. We also are min speed this week, so if he does get Trick Room up, we are guaranteed to underspeed Crawdaunt, Ursaluna, everything except the Torkoal, and then we have Terra Water to help us take hits from the Torkoal. So yeah, that's the team. We'll be right back with the battle. Hope we can win this one. All right, so we are back. It is like late my time, by the way, which is why the lighting is kind of weird. I have like a dome light above me, so hopefully it's not horrible. We are sending each other Terra types now. I will make sure I pick the right team. And the right music, of course. Let's go with the Elite Four. That sounds good. Let me move my team builder, make sure I get the Terra types right. Alright, so we've got our opponent's Terra types. I'm going to write that down on a notepad real quick. We see that he's got Ursaluna, the flying type. He's got Vivian, of course, the ghost, so no faking out that, which we don't have. Torkoal, the water type, so that's cool. Lilligant, the grass type, so big grass moves. Fluttermane, the fairy type, oh boy, that's tough. And Crawdaunt, the water type, so he does bring the Crawdaunt. If we look at our teams real quick and what we both did and didn't bring, I didn't bring Spectrier, Slowking, which I wanted to bring, Dugtrio or Muck, which I also wanted to bring. He did not bring Electrode, Arbok, Sliggoo, or Oranguru, so no Trick Room. So slight wasted slot on the Roar, unless he's Trick Room Fluttermane, which I suppose is possible, but Fluttermane does not appreciate being in the Trick Room. So, we have Moltres to set up Tailwind immediately. It does look pretty solid defensively in this team. The first game, I did really want to lead these two. I think they're pretty solid. Misty Terrain to prevent any shenanigans with Sleep. And then we've got the Rain Dance to counter the Sun if he leads Torkoal. Como in the back is really solid here. It's going to be annoying if that Torkoal's Terra Blast Water, though. That's going to make this a little tougher of a fight. And then I think I want Lurantis in the back. Persian will probably be one of our leads game 2. We'll see how well Moltres and Como match up here. Flying Ursaluna. Why would he want to run that? I guess Terra Blast for Lurantis, or Aerial Ace or something along those lines would be kind of crazy. Lilligant spamming grass moves isn't that threatening because all 4 mons I'm bringing right now resist it, at least until they terastalize. Crawdaunt with Water Terra is kind of scary, but honestly, Adaptability plus Terra doesn't add very much damage, so we shouldn't worry too much about that. I'll get the Calc up real quick so we can kind of gauge some damages. And good luck, have fun to Cal/Pascal. A few different names between Discord and this. So he leads Vivian Ursa. So good on me with the air balloon, I suppose, but I am threatened somewhat. Could very well protect Ursaluna here to get his Flame Orb going. Also, also could just double into my Clef Key. So it looks like Moltres Heat Wave does KO Vivian normally, so we'll just go for Heat Wave immediately because there's not really a point me setting up Tailwind against these 2 slower mons. And then I think I will just go for a Misty Terrain, trying to prevent him from getting the burn. I do believe he's going to protect turn 1. I'm trying to make more reads. I could also reflect here, but I do think the Misty Terrain is a good play. So he doesn't protect. Okay. So that was a little of an over-predict on my part. Worth noting, Vivian is also not protecting. So he sets up Tailwind on Vivian. So Ursaluna is going to get a big hit off here. Oh, it's going to Swords Dance. Okay, that's not terrifying at all, but at least it doesn't get its boost. So we do get a Heat Wave. Vivian is not Sash. So it got a Tailwind up and we knocked it out immediately. So, it's Tailwind Vivian. And it's SD Ursaluna. Crawdonk comes in now under Tailwind as well. So, very scary. I could try to set up Tailwind here. I think Moltres just gets blown back by a water type move. I could try to roar out the Ursaluna. I could just try chunking it with a overheat because that heat wave did like 35%. I think I'm definitely setting up Reflect with Klefki here to try to counter some of the damage he's got. If I look at Moltres into Ursaluna, I guess he's got some speed on there because, yeah, that heat wave does not do that much. So we'll just overheat the Ursa. It should KO if Moltres lives, and I will just set up a Reflect. He could also just Aqua Jet Headlong into Klefki. So we'll see. He's running very short on time, though. Okay, he goes for the Terra. Is it Terra Water, or is it Terra Flying? It's Terra Flying, okay. That doesn't affect my play here at all. So in the back, he can only have one of Flutter, Lily, Torkoal, so I assume it's Flutter. I assume he's not running Sun. We do get a Reflect up, so that's nice. It's Facade Ursa, which is not going to KO me. Yeah, especially with Reflect. We immediately get the burn, which is hilarious because that's what we try to prevent. I didn't even realize that could happen. He knocks off and gets rid of our air balloon. And then Overheat. Overheat. Are you going to hit? It's Life Orb Daunt. Overheat misses. We would have knocked out Ursa. Now it has the Guts boost because of our Flame Body. So Ursa has Facade. Daunt has Knockoff. That's so unfortunate. That Overheat would have definitely KO'd Ursa or with the burn. Now we're just stuck dealing with both of these guys boosted up for 2 more turns. Man. Well, I don't want to set Rain. I can't do any Reflect. So I guess I just Flash Cannon at Ursaluna. I mean, we can't do anything about that. Knockoff's probably going to knock out Moltres. Do we get the burn? Nope. We don't get the burn on the Mon it matters on, I guess. That's a really tough miss. I mean, you expect it to happen with Overheat, but it still sucks. Facade cleanly knocks out Klefki now that he's gotten the burn, because I didn't realize Flame Body could burn during Misty Terrain, so should have been pressure, I suppose. We bring in Lurantis now on the left, Como on the right. I can protect Como this turn. If he's Terra Blast on Ursaluna, though, he definitely obliterates Lurantis here, I would imagine. Man, that's just unfortunate. Flying, yeah. I mean, I guess with Reflect, we can live 1, but we don't really even do that much back. We'll just superpower the Crawdaunt and protect Como for 1 turn. Man, that's a tough miss. With Ursa gone there, he's down to his last 2. I guess it could have been Flutter, and then Como would have to set up on the 2 of them. We do protect. Facade's into Lurantis. He does just cleanly KO us. Man. Can't believe that. Again, I brought an ability that completely beat me. So Facade probably just knocks out Como here. It probably doesn't matter. Tailwind did peter out, so Como is at least probably faster than these guys. But I don't think we have enough gas in the tank to crawl back. If I look at my Como set into Crawdaunt, Drain Punch might KO and give me enough health back to do something here. I doubt it. Oh, we do outspeed both, and yeah, of course, we don't knock it out by 1 health. What can you do? I feel like I prepped decently, and then I got completely countered by my own Moltres, so. That's hard. Should not have run Flame Body, but If Ursa doesn't get burned there, then it's a 70 base power move as opposed to 140, and it doesn't have guts, so it's doing under half that much damage, which means Como-O can set up on it plus Flutter Mane and win in the end. So that's really, really tough. I guess I don't bring Moltres game 2. I think I bring Persian as my adjustment. This league is not going my way. Like, PGL, I had some good fortune, some bad fortune. I feel like I'm missing important moves, or just my own abilities are coming back to bite me. So, it's really tough. I'm going to do the same for, but with Persian instead of Klefki in the front. Maybe he runs Sun is his lead this time. If he does, then Klefki looks decent into it. We can set Rain immediately instead. Man. So let's say we didn't miss the overheat. Or let's say we did miss the overheat still, but we didn't get the flame body. Facade is not knocking out either of my Pokemon from that point. So we would just have a lot more turns available. We could have honestly ignored the Ursaluna. Obviously, our Reflect would have eventually run out. So it would have still been +2. But it wouldn't have had those massive Guts boosts. So, you know, what can you do? This part of the game we play at 90% accuracies are going to miss. Sometimes the only time they're needed. But it is what it is. We're learning a lot. We're learning. I really need to be mindful of my abilities. All right, game 2, same lead. So he knows I've got the Misty Terrain, and he can't burn himself this time. But I'm definitely gonna go for it again. With Persian, I can prevent Tailwind by taunting the Vivian immediately. And go for the same Misty Terrain. I really do not want him to get burnt. And Misty Terrain is a great way to stop that. Because even though I assume he's the Flame Morph item, he's not going to get hit by the burn. So we only know he has Facade and that he's Flying Terra. We do get the Terrain up again. He once again did not protect either Pokemon. We know he's not Sash on Vivian. So if he's Mental Herb, that's really solid. Could also be Covert Cloak to prevent Fake Out, but he's Ghost Terra, so I don't know. He has Mental Herb. Okay, so he does get the speed boost immediately. And goes straight for the Facade this time to break our balloon. So that he can knock us out next turn with the Headlong Rush, if he chooses to. We could Snarl, because that would reduce Vivian's damage output. And that's about it. We could Chilling Water into Ursaluna. If I set up the Rain, then it's going to potentially two-shot it. I also really want to Reflect, though. I think I can Chilling Water. The only way he knocks out Persian this turn is by doubling into it, which he very well may. I do think I want to set the Reflect, though. So we'll do that. He goes for Bug Buzz. Okay, so we will get knocked down to our... Do not quite get knocked down to our Sash. He does Swords Dance, but we do Chilling Water, so we at least slow him down a little bit. And this should do some decent damage. Yeah, but I mean, 40%. It's respectable. I could have Rain Dance to make that a 2-hit KO, but it doesn't really matter since he is outspeeding me. I can go for Snarl here if I choose to. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm probably going to get double KO'd this turn. I assume he goes for Ground Move into Klefki, Bug Buzz into Persian. But I can't do anything to prevent either of those things from happening. Setting Rain, once again, is very bad here if his Crawdon is in the back, which we can assume it is. So we'll just go for some Flash Cannon Chip onto the Vivian. I doubt it lives. He does Terra again. Probably Flying Ursa again. Should have run Thunderwave Klefki, I guess. Slowing him down would have been nice. It's just Thunderwave is always awkward when you're against a pretty hard Trick Room matchup. So, you know, not much to do. He's got Bug Buzz. He does knock out Persian. He's only a +1 with Ursa, but we are running on limited turns of Misty Terrain. So we do need to keep that in mind. Okay, and he's just Earthquake. Still will knock out Klefki, assuredly, but it is Earthquake. Excuse me. Is hurt by... Wait, huh? Oh. Oh, man. I really hope... That was stupid of me. I see now. Flying Terra means that he can be burned because he's off the ground. So not only did Flame Orb affect him, but Flame Body affected him as well. I get it now. It makes total sense. We just got outplayed this game. Truly. I didn't even think of that. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm getting obliterated this league. These guys are really good, and I feel like I am so bad at VGC. So it's a good learning experience, but man, we are getting our butt kicks. So I don't think he Earthquakes. I think he will Facade. He could also Terra Blast, though. I do want to get rid of this Ursa if at all possible. I think I could ignore the Vivian and go for a Fire Punch onto the Ursaluna. And... no, we gotta get rid of Vivian. I mean, it's a big threat. I don't know. I think we've lost. I think we're just... we got cleanly outplayed. I do go for Terra, so if somehow neither Pokemon gets knocked out this turn, then we do look really solid versus the Vivian as well as not Crawdaunt. we counter what is it called? The Pokemon in the back. Okay, he does just Earthquake. I really did not think he would Earthquake, which is why I Terra'd. Clearly I was mistaken. The combo was made to just beat Fluttermane, but obviously Fluttermane didn't even need to hit the field for me to lose. Yeah, so we got absolutely destroyed. We do superpower the Ursa, not that it matters. We get a negligible boost, and we will get KO'd by probably Bug Buzz this turn. So, yeah, clearly this league is very different than PGL because I feel that my opponents have these very intense early game strategies. Like, they just have this plan, like one big mode, and they use it to just bulldoze through my team. Whereas I try to plan for their entire team, and I think that's more of a kind of a singles mindset. Oh, nice. So shows off the Sunny Day. That's a sick tech to run on Vivian. Very well played by my opponent. Obviously very good battler. Very strong team. And that takes us to 0-3. So playoffs is going to be tough. It's probably not going to happen, let's be honest. Sinistcha might make matchups a little more possible, but I don't see it. I think we are just getting thoroughly outplayed. What I will do is in the future, I will try to run strategies, like build one strategy in mind to beat what I think they're going to bring instead of trying to prep for every piece of their team, because I think that's what's getting us in trouble. I think I'm too much of a singles mindset still, and that's just killing me. So if you watched this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope the repeated losing isn't too disheartening. I'm going to try my best to get back into it and get us at least even by the end of this league. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And I feel like I'm learning a ton, honestly. Like, there are some amazing doubles techs that I've never seen before. So, super glad you watched this far into the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.